Welcome back to the Rise and Grind Workshop. If you're new here, my name is Ryan, and for today's video, we're going to be testing out this Vevor 16x24 heat press. So before we dive too far into this test, I do want to thank the team over there at Vevor for sending this unit out for us to test. We've already tested out the Vevor hat press. I'll have a link to that video down below in the description as well. Now, just like the name would suggest, this is a 16x24 heat press. That means your actual pressing area is 16 inches by 24 inches. This is how the unit came out of the box. They do have it zip tied in the down position. We're gonna go ahead and get that zip tied unclipped, apply some power to this machine, and I'm gonna show you how to get your settings set up, and then we're gonna get to pressing on this unit. Let's go ahead and get this zip tie removed. Let's go ahead and move the power cord out of the way. Now, one thing you might notice a little different on my 16x24 press, in the past, people really liked this press. They did complain, however, that with this press being hot, it was hard to lift this handle up. You're gonna notice Vevor listened to that feedback, and they've now included a handle so you can go ahead and grab onto this lever and release it. This 16x24 heat press from Vevor only heats on the top portion of the press, and this does have a nice Teflon coating as well as a nice foam cushion down here on the bottom. And like we talked about earlier, your front to back measurement is going to be 16 inches, and then you're going to have a width of about 24 inches. And right over here on the front side of the machine is going to be your digital control panel. And right here on the top is going to be your pressure adjustment knob. You're going to turn that clockwise to increase the pressure, and you will turn it counterclockwise to decrease the pressure. This heat press is a 1700 watt unit and has a maximum Fahrenheit temperature of 300 degrees. So speaking of temperature, let's go ahead and get some power to this unit. I'm going to show you how to convert this from either Fahrenheit to Celsius, set your timer up, as well as set the proper temperature. You will be able to locate the power button over here on the right hand side of the heat press. Go ahead and engage that. So it looks like our unit came from the factory in Fahrenheit. This can operate in both Fahrenheit or Celsius. If you wanted to convert this over to Celsius, you could simply come over here to the control panel, and you're gonna hold the up and down arrows at the same time, and then that will let you switch between Celsius or Fahrenheit. We're gonna go ahead and leave that on Fahrenheit. Now that we're working in Fahrenheit, let's go ahead and set the temperature for this project. You will hit the temp icon one time. You now see that flashing. Let's go ahead and raise this up to 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you're at 220, go ahead and hit the temperature icon again. We're gonna rinse and repeat that same process for our timer. Let's go ahead and hit time, and we're gonna move that up to 20 seconds. And then we'll hit time. So as you can see, setup is very simple. Now, if I had a very minor complaint about this press, in order to access this control panel, it's a little difficult in the up position. But if I press this in the down position, that starts the pressing and timer. So it just makes it a little difficult to get your hands down in here to access the up and down arrows on both the timer and temperature settings. And you can't really put your hand underneath of it because this portion of the heat press is getting hot. While the Vevor heat press is getting up to temperature, let's go ahead and talk about the material that we're going to be testing the heat press with today. We do a lot of leather hat patches or leatherette hat patches here at the Rise and Grind Workshop, and one of our favorite materials that we use is manufactured by a company called Lonestar Adhesive, and they supply these awesome sheets of 12x24 faux leatherette. This is a premium grade leatherette, and this can be purchased with or without adhesive on the back side of it. And now that you've seen these measurements 12x24, that's probably going to resonate with you on why we went ahead and scooped up that 16x24 inch heat press. Most of you see these heat presses being used for apparel, and we will show you how you can use this for apparel as well. But for us, I wanted to share with you guys, you can purchase your own thermal activated adhesive from Lonestar as well. This is their Durabull adhesive, and you can buy this by the yard. We've got a 10-yard roll, and we also have a 15-yard roll. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this leatherette over there into the heat press, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare it and press your own thermal melt adhesive on the backside of this leatherette. Now you might be asking yourself, why would you even buy this material without the adhesive? Well, that's a great question. You don't have to use a thermal melt adhesive on the back side of this. Some people use double-sided tape, and they can use this leatherette to make stickers. On the flip side, it is much cheaper to buy this without the adhesive on the backside. When this material comes in, the manufacturer still has to press that adhesive, and that's going to cost shop time, shop labor, and that cost is going to be passed on to you. So if you're not doing a ton of volume and you want to save some money, it's a great option to just pick up some of this Durabull adhesive and then buy these sheets without the adhesive, and then you just press that adhesive on the backside as needed. One of our favorite collections is the Heritage Edition, and this is their nice Heritage Red. And we do a lot of UV printing here at the shop, so we are going to be using their Heritage Bright White as well today. You will also notice on the back side here, there is no adhesive. Now go ahead and take a look at this dark brown, and you will notice that it does have a little shiny texture to the back side of it and a little bit of that extra material hanging off. This is because this already has that thermal adhesive applied to it, and that is exactly what comes in these rolls, and that's what we're going to be pressing onto the back side of this leatherette. So according to the Lonestar website, the Durabull adhesive needs to be pressed at 220 degrees Fahrenheit and anywhere from 10 to 13 seconds. So for today's demonstration, we're going to start out with some of this Bright White Heritage Edition. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to take the back side where the felt or the soft material is, and that's going to be facing up towards the heated platen, and then the side that you actually laser engrave or print on is going to be facing down on this heat press. Let's go ahead and get this 12 by 24 sheet laid out in here. So as you can see, we have the laser engravable side facing down, we have the fabric side facing up towards the heat press, and we again do have that Teflon coating on the top side of this press. If you're attempting this with a different press and you don't have that Teflon sheet, you will want to make sure you add your own Teflon sheet to protect your heat press as well as the thermal adhesive. So as you can see, the press is set at 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to go with 13 seconds on the press. So earlier I pointed out this round knob on the top side of this unit. Again, clockwise is going to increase that downward pressure, and then turning it counterclockwise is going to release that pressure as well. So we want to get a nice good press on this, and the way I do this is I just take two hands and I give this a nice press down till it locks into place. That right there feels pretty good. Go ahead and hold that handle and release it. Now the way this press works, the moment that thing locks into place and secures down, that timer is going to automatically start counting down and beep at you, so you'll know your 13 seconds is up. Let's go ahead and cut that adhesive, and then I'm going to show you how to lay that adhesive on top of that material, and we'll give this thing a test. So again, this right here is what the Durabull adhesive looks like. This is 12 inches wide, and you can buy this by the yard. This happens to be 5 yards right here, and we're going to use a self-healing mat and something like a simple razor blade, and again, we're going to cut 24 inches. Now the most important part for this next step is making sure you put this adhesive down the right way. One side is going to be more of a dull matte finish, and that's technically where this paper backing is. If you flip this over onto the inside and you hold this up to the light where the glare can hit it, you're going to notice that this is the shiny side, and this is the side you want to put facing down on the felt side, not the side that you want to laser engrave on. You definitely don't want to have this flipped up and let that touch the heat press. You want that to have the dull side facing up towards the heat press. So now that we're confident which way to lay this material, let's move it over here to the press. And again, we have the shiny side facing down onto this leatherette. And I'm just going to line this up on the very bottom, make sure I got a nice straight edge. That looks really good right there. Now let's go ahead and give this thing a press. And as you can see, the timer is almost finished. That lets us know that's been 13 seconds. Now we can go ahead and release. Now you're going to see that that adhesive is actually stuck to the backside of this leatherette. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that process right there looks pretty straightforward and easy. Do you think you guys could handle something like that? Let's go ahead and take a look at the back side of that sheet that we just pressed. You're now going to notice that this probably looks like your standard sheet of leatherette that you purchased with the adhesive on the back side. Some people like to laser engrave and cut with this protective paper on the back side. Others like to peel it off. Again, here's a quick visual representation of what it looked like before we pressed it. And this is like a soft fabric material. Here's the back side of it with the adhesive pressed on, and we still have that paper backing. This right here is a piece of leatherette that has already had the thermal adhesive pressed onto the back side of it. And as you can see, that's bonded really well to the back side. Now let's go ahead and test this piece out right here and make sure we got a good bond to the back side of it. Let's go ahead and peel this paper off and take a look at it. So right there, that's a good sign already. Only the paper's coming up really easy. And honestly, the backside of this leatherette looks just like the backside of this leatherette that came with the thermal adhesive on the backside of it. This right here is going to let you get a good visual representation. You can see there's no air bubbles and no wrinkles, and has a nice uniform pattern across the entire sheet of leatherette. That was incredibly easy to do. Now let's go ahead and do another one. I really like this heritage red, so let's get some adhesive put on the backside of this unit as well. Once again, we're just going to align our material to the edges there. You want to make sure that this foam or fabric is as clean as possible. You don't want any dirt, debris, or dust on the backside of this material. That will affect how well that adhesive adheres to the backside of it. So once again, double check and confirm that the matte side and not the shiny side with the adhesive is facing up towards the heated element. And you're going to align this to the bottom edge. We look good right there. Make sure it's nice and flat. Let's go ahead and give that a good press. Timer's automatically counting down. Ready to release. That's how easy it is. So there you have it, the Heritage Bright White with the Durabull adhesive pressed to the backside with the safety paper peeled off the backside of it. That turned out perfect. And we went ahead and just for extra measure, pressed the Heritage Red, and that turned out incredible as well. We'll just go ahead and leave that protective film on the backside for now. These are going to be now ready to laser engrave for projects. So if you're in the market for a heat press, you might want to take a look at the 16x24 Vevor heat press. This is a very affordable heat press. At the time of this video, it ranges from about $250 to $300, depending on if they're having sales or not. There are a wide variety of presses out there on the market. We specifically got this press to do exactly what I just showed with you. We wanted to be able to press that durable adhesive on the backside of our own leatherette. Now, one of the advantages of the 16x24, this is in a horizontal fashion. So if you get a lot of orders for a triple XL, quadruple XL shirts, those are really wide shirts, and those don't fit on some of the more common size presses. So a flat press at 16x24 would be great for that. Another item you might want to think about is if you're doing long sleeve t-shirts and you want to get some images or graphics on the side or that sleeve, this is going to give you 24 inches to lay out a nice DTF press on that sleeve, as well as things like sweatpants. Now, another pro tip I have for you, every single heat press is probably going to heat up a little bit differently or display a different number than what's actually reading over here on the heating element. We do have that Teflon covering this heating element, so it's hard to get an accurate reading on that. However, you might want to pick up one of those infrared temperature guns, and you could really go ahead and test the temperature on the bottom side versus what is actually on the digital readout here, and then you're just going to adjust that accordingly. But so far, we're going to go ahead and give this one 2 thumbs up. It heated up to temperature really quick. The timer worked correctly, has nice good pressing power, and like you guys saw, we pressed those 2 pieces of leatherette, and that was our first time doing it. We have no issues on it. So again, if you guys are interested in a heat press, I would highly recommend checking out this Vevor heat press. Now, we've tested out a wide variety of leatherette here in the workshop, and right now we exclusively are using the Lonestar leatherette. We're going to have a link to that down below, as well as a discount code where you can save 10% off of your purchase. And while you're down there checking out the affiliate link, you might as well check out the link for the hat press as well. And again, guys, if you guys leave me a comment letting me know what type of content you want to see, I will go ahead and make that content for you guys. Once again, thanks for everybody that watches and supports this channel. We're going to catch you on the next video.